Hello everyone, today I'm going to be going over course selection and how to make sure you're picking the right classes and you are on track for graduation and A3G requirements, because it's not as easy as it seems. So the first thing you want to do is, when you get your course selection, when you're allowed to pick classes, you need to make sure you're looking at your transcripts and seeing what classes you are missing. First, you need to check graduation requirements to make sure you have all the classes you need to graduate. And on top of that, make sure that you're still on top of your A3G and you're not missing a class. Your freshman year, on upcoming if you're an 8th grader, you will get help from counselors and you can meet with counselors. And because 9 through 10 cores have science included, it's English, history, and science. You don't need to worry about science, but after that you do. So essentially, your freshman year, or 8th grade going into your freshman year, probably the easiest to pick classes because you have your science, history, and English taken care of, which are all graduation requirements. The Windsor High School graduation requirements are different than the A3G requirements. It's always important to remember that. And it is important that you know how to select courses so that you're not missing anything and don't have to take like additional classes during the summer, or worst case scenario, you can't graduate because you're missing a class. So the graduation requirements for Windsor High School can be found in the Windsor High School website, whs.wsd.org, and basically you need 10 credits of art or foreign language. So you can take your freshman year, sophomore year. A lot of people take it junior year and senior year because it is the easiest to take care of, and freshman and sophomore year you are usually more preoccupied with taking like those math classes and all of that. So English, you need 40 credits, so you need to be taking that every semester. So that doesn't really matter because in your core classes English is taken care of. Economics and government, you need 5 of those, and econ and government are all alternate. So one semester will be econ and one semester will be government, and that will be your 11th or 12th grade depending on the alternation between that or the US history class. Health, you take your sophomore year. Some people take it online, so if that's what is best for you, then you can do that. This is the important one that a lot of people get wrong, and you need to make sure you differentiate between physical and life science. You need 10 credits of each. Credits are 5 credits each semester for each class. So if you're taking 7 credits, you're taking 35 credits total. So physical and life science are the ones that are really important that you differentiate, because you might be taking like too many physical sciences and you don't have any life science credits. And you can check that which are physical and which are life science on Aries. If you go to your graduation status, it will tell you what a life science is. For example, my physical science I took was physics, and I believe chemistry also falls into physical science, so you can take chemistry, physics. Life science are like biology and integrated science, I think, would also fit into it, depending on what integrated science it is. I took plant and soil science, so that also fit under life science, so I got those credits taken care of. Freshman and sophomore year, for the most part, typically might be life science, so you want to make sure that when you're going into your senior year or junior year, you are picking either chemistry or physics or any physical science. you can take STEM at the JC too if those aren't something you're interested in. Integrated Math 1 and Math 2 are also freshman year and sophomore year. If you pass, you also may have to repeat, but those typically are the easiest ones to do because you just take the math class that follows the one you took. And those are also available at the JC. All these classes really are available at the JC. Physical education, PE, you take that freshman and sophomore year, and that's pretty much required unless you take it at the JC again, but U.S. history is the one that alternates between your 11th and 10th core. So, for example, I took econ and government my junior year, and I'm taking U.S. history currently. So that one also takes care of the thing. Oh, your A through G, no, graduation requirements for history. However, history and global studies are together, and normally your global studies will be taken care of freshman year. That doesn't mean you can't stop taking it because you're going to have to take history to you have to take history because it's a part of your core and you can't not have a core. So, and you need those English credits anyways. And then you need 75 credits of electives, and basically everything else that doesn't fall in those categories are electives. So any art class, music class, any any other classes you're taking, usually also your junior and senior year, because science no longer is part of your core, that extra class that you have. So some people have different ones, like pre-med has public health, and then Vineyard has like a business class. It all depends on your core. Those are also electives, and you only need 75 credits of those. So sometimes people exceed those because of all the extra classes you're taking, because whatever doesn't fall under graduation requirements is an elective. So those usually take care of pretty easily. However, the thing you do need to keep in mind is that with your A through Gs, if you're planning on going to a California State University or University of California, that you need to continue, for the most part, a lot of the classes. So, for example, history is only 2 years required. Obviously, they recommend more, but you need to have at least 2 years, and that's fine because, you need to do this for graduation anyways. You need 4 years of English, which again follows the graduation requirements. The different one is math. You need 3 years of math required, 4 years recommended, and to graduate you only need 2 years of math 1 and math 2. So if you want to go to a California State University, University of California, make sure that after you do math 1 and math 2, you take math 3, and from then you can take either AP Stats or Trig. And if you want to go into AP Calc, you should probably take Trig over the summer so you can get into that. You need 2 years of laboratory science, and they recommend 3. So a lab science can range depending, and you can usually find those two on, if you go to the Windsor High School website and you type in course selection, a whole document will pop up that has like a little description of what the class is and prerequisites. Sometimes you need to be in like a certain math class. So for physics, you need to be in math 3 or beyond, because that's what correlates. You're learning stuff that you would need knowledge in to succeed in the class. And it will tell you if it's a lab science, a physical science. You can also ask counselors, teachers, and they will also direct you and help you make sure that you're taking the right classes. It's also really important that the other A to Gs are foreign language. So for graduation, it's art or foreign language. So you need to make sure that you're taking a foreign language for 2 years. They recommend 3, but 2 years are required. Visual and performing arts, art, and you need that to graduate, but make sure you're doing both graduation and A through G and not just graduation, because those are two completely different things. And then a college prep elective, that AVID counts your senior year only for that, but other classes also count. It's not just AVID. You need to also check that because it depends on the class. Typically, your 11-12 extra class counts for that as well. It is very important that you keep track. You can do an A through G tracker. Normally, for graduation, counselors will send letters to your house if you're missing credits or anything like that, so they help you with that. But A through G's typically you have to do on your own. So every year when course selection opens, make sure you're taking the classes that you need. It's okay to throw some fun classes in there, but make sure you're getting those required classes in. And in your graduation status, also in Aries, if you go to grades and you drop down to graduation status, it will tell you what credits you need. It will say how many credits you need, how many you're enrolled, how many you've taken. It has the record of all the classes you've taken. You could also look on grade history and just all of that, and it will just tell you what you need. And it's also good to consult teachers and counselors, anything like that, when you need help or if you're confused. Also, on Aries, if you go to classes and you drop down, an academic plan may show up and it will tell you the classes you've taken every year, and like if you're on track for the UCs or what you're missing, it'll like highlight them for you, which ones you've done. And it's pretty helpful, and they'll tell you like each semester by semester what you've taken. The Windsor High School website is a very important tool you can use. That's where you can find the course selection descriptions and the graduation requirements. They have UC requirements. They have all of that under student resources. So make sure you are consulting that as well as teachers, like I said. Some helpful, also for cores, they have a lot of different ones, and it's important that if you're an incoming freshman, it's harder to do this, but if you're a sophomore and you want to know what cores you should go into for your junior year, I recommend shadowing a core. You can ask a teacher if you can, and you obviously have to have permission from both, but you can shadow a core for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just to see how you like it. The teachers, get to know the teachers, consult other students that have been in that core and ask their opinion or like their experience. That way you know what you're getting yourself into. I think shadowing for me was the most helpful because I was able to see just how the core ran, and it was really helpful. It was very helpful, and I totally recommend it. I think if you're incoming 8th freshman, you could probably also do it. You just have to like have more freedom because it's in different campuses, but shadowing and just asking other students is really important. Obviously, ask multiple students because every student has like a different experience. Not all of them will be the same. It is very useful to know how to plan ahead what classes you are going to take. So then junior year, senior year, you're not stressing over classes you're missing, and just prioritize. It may be hard seeing your friends only have 5 classes, but if you get those classes done, you will have an easier time later on, and you won't be missing anything, and you'll be fine and not stressed. It may be stressful in the moment, taking 7-8 classes, but in the end, it's very helpful, and it will pay off. And it is also very important that you are taking the classes that you need. Not only are you taking the classes you need, but classes that interests you. If your friend is taking this class, taking a class that you're not interested in, but you pick it anyways because your friend picked it, you are gonna have a miserable time. because if you're not interested in that topic, you're just going to be in a class where you're not going to be paying attention, and that's going to hurt you in the long run. I made the mistake of picking the wrong core my 9th and 10th year because my friends were going into it, and I was not the happiest. So it's really important that you're not picking classes or cores just because your friends are in it. Pick the classes that you think you're going to do well in, things that interest you, and it's important to also challenge yourself. Take at least one AP or honors class. They're not that hard if you apply yourself. It is a lot of work, more than a regular class would be. But if you do your work, you ask questions, and you try, you will succeed. And it's about having that mindset. So it's important to do that. And always read the description. Like I said, in the course description, you can find in student resources, so you know what the kind of work you're going to be doing and if it's suitable for you. Let's say you're debating between a life science and you're between biology and physics. Well, if you're not a very good math person, then maybe physics wouldn't be the best option, because physics is math. You need to think about those things, because not only is it important that you're taking the right classes, but also that you are setting yourself up for success in the class. And yeah, because if you're not, then you're going to have a miserable time, and then it's really hard to switch your schedule if it's already mid-year, to a week, 2 weeks into the school year, because classes fill up. And it's also pretty hard to change course sometimes because normally they're full, especially the ones that are on high demand. But yeah, always consult teachers if you're unclear. Ask them. Have a paper, a document that has a plan, so you know for the most part what you're going to do in high school and throughout your high school career, so you're not behind and you're not scared and you're not worried about not having certain credits, so that it's all done. If you plan, it won't be stressful and it'll be easy. Yes, it may be I want to take this class, but I need this class. So you want to prioritize the class you need, and maybe you can still add the fun class. It's okay it's important to have a balance, but also to prioritize to make sure you graduate and you get into colleges that you want. So yeah, that is it.